My hospice family. Today, I would like to speak especially to the hospice staff. Okay, to all of my hospice staff. If you know a hospice staff, share this video with them. Okay, now to all of my hospice nurses, and as a nurse, as a hospice nurse myself since 2012 for 13 years now, one of the main things that I hear, okay, one of the reasons why it's so hard to be a hospice nurse is because of the burnt out. Okay, meaning that hospice nurses, we often take our work home with us. Okay. We are often really impacted and affected by our patients because it is very emotional. The kind of job we do is very emotional. We are dealing with people with terminal illnesses. Okay. We are dealing with people who are suffering in a very sad and depressive time of their life. Okay. And oftentimes it gets to us. Okay. It really gets to the hospice staff, and what they do, they end up quitting. Okay, they end up quitting being a hospice nurse. They go into a different part, okay, a different side of nursing. Now, what I want to say, okay, and I pray that this word will find you encouragement. Now, me myself, the reason why I am able to remain in this career as a hospice nurse for so long is because I'm able to separate the bad from the good. Okay. So from now on, my hospice family, my hospice staff, I want you to focus on the positive, okay, on the positivity, on the positive of what you're doing. For example, think of it as you are able to, don't just look at the person as a person dying of cancer, okay? Think of it as this. Say to yourself, today I was able to help my patient to get comfortable. Today I was able to advocate for my patient to get her into a CAD pump, to get her into a pump, to advocate for her to have a pump so that she can manage her pain better, so that she can have better control over her pain. Today, don't just look at her as a patient who is dying of cancer. Don't just look at it as, you are sad because of the illness. Look at it as, I was able to keep my patient comfortable. Say to yourself, I was able to advocate for my patient to get her into a CAD pump. So rather than her being in pain, okay, rather than her having to ask her family for pain meds or having to get up to get the pain meds, I was able to insert a tube in her veins so that she can have control of delivering pain medication to herself, okay, in a consistent manner. Okay, so focus on that. And now, because you were able to get her that CAD pump, okay, that continuous flow of medication, now she's no longer in pain. You see, my hospice staff? So you have to be able to see and look at the good that you're doing, okay? Focusing on the good that you're doing. And say to yourself, when you get that old lady, okay, with the wounds, say to yourself, oh my God, okay, I have this lady now. I have this patient with a stage 3 pressure ulcer. I cannot wait to get it down to a stage 2. Because of me, because of my good care, I'm going to make sure that I give her proper wound care so that her wounds could be healed, so that her wounds could go from worse to good to better. Okay? So focus on the goodness that you're doing. All right? Don't look at the disease. Because this is one thing that I want us hospice nurses, okay, from today on to take to take a page out of our doctors, okay, to be more like the doctors, okay, because the doctors, I used to date an oncologist. And he did not for one moment, he never talked about his patients, okay, who were dying of cancer in an emotional way. Rather, he said, I had this patient with kidney cancer, and now I introduce him to this medication. Now we are going to do clinicals. I cannot wait to start him on radiation. I cannot wait to start him on chemotherapy. The doctors are not emotional. Okay, they don't get emotional to the point where they quit being a doctor. Have you ever had a doctor who quit being a doctor because it's too emotional for them? I have not seen that. They focus on the healing power. They focus on what they're doing that's good, that's helping the patient. Do you understand, my hospice family, my hospice staff, my hospice nurses, my hospice social worker? So focus on the positivity. Focus on the positivity, my hospice staff, my hospice social workers, my hospice nurses, my hospice aides. Say to yourself, because of me, because of my caring heart, I am making a lasting impact, okay, in the family's lives. I am helping them. I am helping the patient. Yes, I feel bad that the patient have the disease. Okay, but the worst is already done and there's nothing that you can do about it. All that you can do right now, okay, what you can do right now is transmute that negativity, that bad, into something great. So that when you step into the house, so that when you ring the bell, the family feel relief. They feel joy. They're happy that you're here. They're like, yes, Nurse Dawn is here. She's going to help my loved ones to feel better. Yes, social worker Stephanie is here. She's going to help me to find resources that's in the community. Yes, the hospice aide Anna is here. She's going to be able to give Dad a good bed bath. Yes, I can't wait to see my hospice staff. Okay? So let's take a page from our fellow doctors' pages. They always focus on the positive. They always focus on what they're doing that's good, that is helping the patient. They don't internalize it. They don't feel like, oh, my patient today, oh, I don't think I can do this. This is so sad. No, they say, yes, I cannot wait to help them to get better, to get back out there in the world. So for us, we need to say, yes, I cannot wait for them to have a good, dignifying, respectable, painless, comfortable death. Let me know your thoughts, my hospice family. Please comment, share, like. Let me know your thoughts. You as a hospice staff, how have you been able to deal with the emotional aspect of hospice? How have you been able to self-soothe yourself? All right. Until next time, my hospice family, please follow, stay connected for more hospice contents. See ya.